Slumpy with Fool's Paradise Fishing, and this is the Haul Road Primer. We'll give you some tips from our run up and down the haul road, and as you can see, we had to change the radiator because the rental truck fell through, so we had to take my 2004 Dodge Ram 2500 all the way up and down. Luckily, we got a radiator, and the Fort Wainwright Auto Hobby Shop had some space. Before you go, stop at Tommy G's to get some road meat, get some sticks and stuff, whatever. And right next door is a Black Spruce Brewing Company, and this is all in Fairbanks. So grab a beer because it's going to be a long trip. One of the things we had to do was stop at Fish and Game, and we got to see some sandhill cranes. You don't see them everywhere. You drive about 50 miles before you even get to the haul road, and then it's dirt. There is some intermittent pavement, but it's crappy pavement. It reminds me of a caliche road, a bad caliche road down in Texas. There's lots of signs for photo opportunities, and there you go, the very first one. You're on the haul road. So some of the things they say you need are, have a good vehicle. Well, we took what we had. Carry extra supplies. We had a lot of extra everything. And so we made sure that we had extra fuel, extra safety equipment. I had a CB, and we maintained the vehicle as best we can. The first really good scenic spot you're going to see is Yukon Crossing. There's the only bridge across the Yukon River. And then there's lots of, you never know what you're going to see in Alaska, and that was kind of interesting. The bars came up, and the D8 was holding in place. Here's the fuel at Yukon Crossing. Everybody does it different. You'll have to talk to them where you get there, but it's all about the same price, 7 something. Arctic Circle, you got to stop there. And then after Arctic Circle, the next stop is Coldfoot Camp. There's not a whole lot of pictures to take. Get gas there. They do it differently too. The food is good, and get there so when you can do the smorgasbord. There's all sorts of places to stop. Take your time. Yield to the trucks. I always pulled over. Headlights, always have them on. Tire safety, well, the best you can do, bring spares. And watch out for animals. There's animals everywhere. We stayed at Galbraith Lake, and it was a pretty good spot. It actually had Wi-Fi because there's a pump station nearby. So you won't be alone when you go to Galbraith Lake. There's an airport and a pump station. And the University of Alaska Fairbanks does graduate geology field trips to Galbraith Lake Campground because they go up to Toolik Research Station and do some field stuff. Lots of interesting names, and you'll see lots of trucks, and they're hauling. So you want to get out of their way, and you'll hear them talking on the CB if you bring one. We drove all the way up to Dead Horse so they could see the sights. Hadn't been there in a decade, so I just wanted to check it out. While they were out taking the Arctic Ocean tour, I was tooling around. And then when you get up there, because it's so muddy and dirty, you always got to put booties on before you go in and do anything. There's a little bit of class and paperwork because you get a certificate when you're done. And it's about 85 bucks if you want to do it. And there goes the truck onto the edge of the haul road. The last bit of the haul road, about 30 miles, is paved and nicely paved. So it's kind of weird driving around on the crappy road and then all of a sudden you get a nice paved road. Just take your time on the haul road. Take lots of stops. Avoid the trucks. Oh, when you get fuel in Dead Horse, it's on the oil camp. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of rules. Just read them. Use your Alaska Airlines credit card to get a 15 cents per gallon discount. Not a big discount, but hey, it saved about $4. You can pick up a rental up there if you want to fly up there and get your rental and drive around up there. But you got to call them up. Their website isn't really working. Always, there's the phone number. I'll drop a link, but you need to call them. Their website's not that good. There is a medical clinic up there in case you have some issues, and they'll handle you for emergencies. It's at the Dead Horse Aviation Center. Dead Horse Camp is outside the oil camp, and it's separate from everything else, but that's where you can stay if you want to stay the night up there. It snowed on the way back because it's the Arctic. It doesn't matter if it's August 19th, but it snowed. And so you want to be prepared for that. We were a little unprepared. We had to stake out more stakes and put more tarps to keep everything down because the wind blew a little bit because it's flying down Atigan Gorge and Atigan Pass. We did pick up a stranger, a friend, but she was bicycling down the haul road and was experiencing hypothermia. So when in distress, you got to help out people. So we fed her, warmed her up, and she finally came out after we got her warmed up and some of the things of hypothermia went away. And as you can see, it warmed up real nice the next couple of days, and she hitched a ride, got to Fairbanks, and as you can see, my son got sunburned in the Arctic. It was an adventure. We came across this couple. They had blown out 2 spares and they had borrowed a third. They just needed to get the Coldfoot so they can give their spare back. He ordered a tire to come up because, as you saw, he had Starlink on top of his camper, but we just helped them finish changing tires. It was the smaller tire was overheating its differential. Adigan Pass, pretty good photo op. And then we skipped on down. I'm trying to think of this place, but I'll drop a link to this location. It's a pretty cool place, very scenic. It's on the BLM guide for driving the Dalton Highway. So in summary, just take it easy, allow lots of time, take stops, and always buy gas. You know, that's the big thing. And to be ready to help, because you never know when someone's going to need some help. And they'll help you in return. And there's a lot of hitchhiking, which I didn't understand before. Just watch out for that. And when you get back to Fairbanks, there's a big, nice car wash next to Safeway.